Ants, the strongest creature on Earth. Right now, beneath your feet, there is a civilization. It has roads, soldiers, farmers, builders, and a queen. It has been running without interruption for millions of years. And it operates with a level of coordination that puts most human cities to shame. You've walked past it thousands of times without noticing, because the creatures who built it are ants. Today, we go underground, enter a world that is stranger, more violent, and more impressive than anything you've imagined. Size means nothing, the power of the ant. Let's start with the number that changes everything. An ant can carry between 10 and 50 times its own body weight. Some species can carry up to 100 times their body weight. To put that in human terms, imagine a 180-pound man lifting a fully loaded school bus over his head. And then walking with it. How is this possible? It comes down to physics and biology. Small animals have a much higher ratio of muscle mass to body size. The smaller the creature, the stronger it is relative to its size. An ant's muscles are thick, dense, and extraordinarily efficient. But raw strength is only the beginning. The colony, a superorganism. A single ant is almost nothing. It cannot survive alone for long. But together, as a colony, ants become something else entirely. Scientists use a term for this, superorganism. The colony functions like a single living body. Each ant is like a cell, individual, replaceable, and part of something much greater. A colony can have anywhere from a few hundred ants to over 100 million. The largest ant colonies ever discovered stretched across multiple continents. In Europe, a supercolony of Argentine ants was found that spanned 3,700 miles. That is roughly the distance from New York to London. One connected colony. Inside the colony, every ant has a role. Workers gather food, build tunnels, and care for the young. Soldiers defend the nest with their lives. Scouts explore new territory and report back with chemical signals. And at the center of it all, the queen. She does not give orders. She does not manage the workers. Her only job is to lay eggs. And she does it, continuously, for up to 30 years. A single queen can produce millions of offspring in her lifetime. Communication, the chemical internet. Ants are blind or nearly blind. They do not use sound to communicate. They use chemistry. Their bodies produce dozens of different chemicals called pheromones. Each one carries a specific message. Follow this trail. Danger nearby. Food found. Come help. The queen is dead. When an ant finds food, it lays a pheromone trail on the way back to the nest. Other ants follow that trail. They reinforce it with their own pheromones. The stronger the trail, the more ants follow it. When the food runs out, no more pheromones are laid, and the trail fades. The colony automatically redirects to a new source. This is not planning. There is no manager giving instructions. It is a self-organizing system of pure chemistry. And it is breathtakingly efficient. When danger is detected, an ant releases an alarm pheromone. Within seconds, soldiers pour out of the nest, ready to fight. The response is instant, collective, and overwhelming. Ant wars, the most violent battles on Earth. If you scale down to the size of an ant, the world becomes a war zone. Ant colonies fight each other constantly, over food, territory, and resources. And these battles are not small skirmishes. Army ants march in columns of hundreds of thousands. They sweep across the forest floor like a living river. Nothing escapes them. Insects, spiders, lizards, frogs, all are overwhelmed and consumed. The army ant column can be 100 feet wide and move at a pace that covers several football fields per hour. Other species fight differently. Weaver ants construct fortresses from leaves stitched together with silk. They post guards at every entrance. When rivals attack, they respond in coordinated waves. Some species even have suicide bombers. The Malaysian exploding ant, when threatened, contracts its body so violently that it ruptures, spraying toxic chemicals on the enemy. It dies, but it takes the attacker with it. This level of self-sacrifice, dying for the colony, is wired into ant biology. The individual does not matter. The colony survives. Agriculture. Ants invented farming 50 million years ago. Here is something that will genuinely surprise you. Humans invented farming about 10,000 years ago. Ants invented it 50 million years ago. Leafcutter ants, found in Central and South America, are master farmers. They cut pieces of leaves and carry them back to the nest. But they don't eat the leaves. They use them to grow fungus. Deep inside their underground chambers, they maintain fungus gardens. They fertilize them. They weed out competing molds. They apply natural antibiotics to keep their crops healthy. And that fungus, carefully grown and tended, feeds the entire colony. This is a refined agricultural system that has been evolving and improving for 50 million years. Leafcutter ants are, by some measures, the most sophisticated farmers on the planet. And they are not alone. Some ant species herd aphids, tiny insects, like livestock. They protect them from predators. They move them to better plants. And in return, the aphids produce a sugary liquid the ants consume. Herding, farming, chemical communication, military strategy. Ants do it all. Architecture, cities beneath the ground. The underground nests that ants build are nothing short of architectural masterpieces. Some colonies dig tunnels and chambers that extend 25 feet below the surface. The structure includes ventilation shafts to control temperature and airflow, separate chambers for food storage, nurseries, waste disposal, and the queen's chamber. Some nests even have drainage systems to prevent flooding. Scientists have studied ant nest architecture by filling abandoned nests with liquid cement, then excavating them. What they found looks remarkably like a human city, just underground and built without blueprints, engineers, or tools. Only millions of tiny bodies, working with pure instinct and chemical signals. Ants and the ecosystem, the invisible engineers. Without ants, most ecosystems would collapse. They are among the most important creatures on Earth. Ants aerate the soil as they dig, allowing water and nutrients to penetrate deeper. They decompose organic matter, recycling nutrients back into the ground. They disperse seeds. Some plants have evolved seeds specifically designed to attract ants, who carry them far from the parent plant. And they control insect populations, keeping many species in check. Remove the ants, and the entire food web begins to unravel. Plants struggle. Soil degrades. Other species lose their food source. The ripple effect spreads far beyond what you might expect from an animal you could crush under one finger. Closing. We spend our lives walking above a world we never think about. A world of tunnels and chambers, chemical signals and sacrifice, farming and warfare and architecture. A world that has been running, without pause, for over 100 million years. The ant does not know it is impressive. It does not seek admiration. It simply does its job. Every moment, without rest, without complaint. The next time you see a line of ants marching across your floor or along a garden path, don't reach for the insecticide just yet. Watch them for a moment. Follow the line. Think about where it goes. Think about what is happening. Underground, right beneath your feet. You are looking at one of the greatest civilizations on Earth. It just happens to be very, very small.